Mentioning telecom fraud gardens in Southeast Asia sends chills down one's spine. However, the situation has drastically reversed. Following the US government's crackdown on Cambodia's telecom fraud industrial parks, the Myanmar military has also intervened. Starting October 24, 2025, the Myanmar military is continuously bombing buildings within the KK Industrial Park, the headquarters of Myanmar's telecom fraud syndicates. Sources revealed that the Myanmar military used drones carrying explosives to attack the KK industrial parks, while ground troops destroyed buildings with bombs on the 26th. This has led to at least 2,000 people fleeing the industrial park to Thailand. The majority of them are Chinese and Indian. Some traveled by bicycle, some on foot, and some even attempted to swim across the river to Thailand. The scene is comparable to a refugee crisis during wartime. According to Thai authorities, the number of people escaping from the park is expected to continue to increase in the coming days. The Thai government is currently preparing several temporary shelters. The related video has gone viral in China, with netizens commenting, "Now I understand why there are fewer scam calls lately. I am just wondering why there are no more calls from unknown numbers. Can I get my money back?" Some are less optimistic. The bombing of the industrial park is just a way to relocate. An empty park, people have moved to other places, from many parts of Asia to Dubai, and many other places. The netizens' pessimism is not without reason. According to locals in Myanmar, more than a dozen nearby industrial parks that were previously used for scams are still operating, and the escaped scammers have already moved in. Staff at a scam site in Myanmar says they are operating normally and still have access to the company's internet. Previously, SpaceX announced it had cut off service to over 2,500 Starlink devices at its KK campus, but the scam site was still able to connect to Myanmar's Mytel telecom and fiber optic cables from Thailand. Videos circulated online show some buildings still lit up. One netizen pointed out, "Those who were bombed were just the henchmen. The important figures have already fled." These revelations are not entirely unfounded. Recently, the Thai police intercepted a truck heading to Mayawati carrying 60 Starlink satellite communication devices. Police suspect these devices were for use by the scam site. Shen Mingxi, a researcher at the Institute for National Defense and Security Research in Taiwan, told overseas Chinese media, "The group of people in the park scattered after the bombing. They will likely find new bases in the short term. The fraud ring may not be completely dismantled, but at least the pressure on the Myanmar government facing the US or ASEAN has been reduced." It's reported that the KK Park is located in the suburbs of Mayawati, a major border trade town bordering Myanmar and Thailand. The park is a major hub for cybercrime and human trafficking. People from all over the world, especially Chinese, are lured there and forced to engage in online fraud, causing economic losses up to tens of billions of dollars annually for the victims. The timing of the Myanmar military's bombing of the KK Park is noteworthy, as the US trade representative was negotiating in Malaysia during those days, and the US President Trump was also visiting Southeast Asia to attend the ASEAN summit. Just before the Myanmar military bombed the KK Park, the US Department of Justice had formally indicted Chen Zhi, the owner of the Prince Group, accusing him of leading an international criminal network involved in serious crimes such as human trafficking, forced labor, and cryptocurrency fraud, and confiscating up to $15 billion in Bitcoin assets under his control. Chen Zhi fell and the US and UK profited. The US suddenly seized 127,000 bitcoins in Chen Zhi's possession, worth over $15 billion. In just one night, the US robbed Chen Zhi of $15 billion in assets. This money isn't clean, it's mostly illicit. Why? Because Chen Zhi is the so-called uncrowned king of the infamous Southeast Asian telecom fraud industry, lurking behind the scenes. Chen Zhi is 38 years old this year, originally from Fujian Province, China, later became a Cambodian citizen, and even obtained the so-called Duke title. He holds Chinese, British, and Cambodian citizenship. According to US indictment documents, Chen Zhi entered Cambodia's real estate market at the age of 24. Starting in 2015, he spearheaded the Prince Group, establishing businesses in over 30 countries. On the surface, he appeared to be involved in real estate, finance, and consumer services. But secretly, he was operating one of Asia's largest transnational criminal organizations. His rapid expansion was backed by strong support from the Chinese Communist Party's Ministry of Public Security and Ministry of State Security. While Chen Zhi was so terrifying to many, he was presented as a philanthropist. On March 22, 2025, the 4th annual Chen Zhi Scholarship Awards ceremony of Prince Charity was held, with 100 university students selected from 2,500 applicants. It's reported that the so-called Chen Zhi Scholarship not only provides full scholarships and living allowances, but Prince Charity also provides extracurricular training for students. On the surface, it seems very generous. However, how many university students and young people full of dreams and looking for jobs have been lured into a life of telecom fraud by the Chinese compatriot Chen Zhi?
现在被美国司法部通缉的陈志
Chen Zhi, now wanted by the U.S. Department of Justice, was once hailed by many Chinese media as an entrepreneur of the year and a model of social responsibility. Those reports praising his courage and enterprising spirit now seem particularly jarring. He defrauded Chinese people of their money, transferred it overseas, then converted it into cryptocurrency, and finally had it all taken over by the U.S. This is Chen Zhi. He was wanted by the U.S. for killing a Korean. He was born in 1987 in Fujian and is a Cambodian telecom fraud boss. The most outrageous thing is that the telecom fraud boss actually in China's image is that of a philanthropist. You know what I mean. A year ago, he was a Cambodian duke, a Chinese entrepreneur, and a renowned philanthropist. A year later, he's the world's most wanted criminal, controlling 10 telecom fraud industrial parks and earning $30 million a day. But don't be fooled by his outward success. In his early 30s, he already has a net worth of over $10 billion. Don't you find this strange? According to the indictment released by the U.S. Department of Justice, his wealth originated from those telecom fraud parks hidden in Cambodia. Did you know that just 2 of his telecom fraud dens alone yielded over 1,250 mobile phones and more than 70,000 social media accounts? Many of the people working there were Chinese and Vietnamese who had been lured there. Their passports were confiscated and they were monitored 24/7. The catalyst for Chen Zhi's wanted status is related to South Koreans. According to South Korean media reports, a 22-year-old South Korean university student named Park Min-ho was allegedly sold by a criminal gang from Cambodia to Bokhar Mountain Telecom Fraud Park, which is controlled by Chinese forces, in late July 2025 for $2,000 to $3,000 and was murdered there. According to a South Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs official, between January and August 2025, a total of 330 South Koreans reportedly disappeared or were forcibly detained after entering Cambodia. As of August this year, the safety of approximately 80 people remained unconfirmed. It's also rumored that 2 British citizens were lured to a telecom fraud park in Cambodia. In response, some Chinese netizens posted images summarizing the situation. Chen Zhi harmed a South Korean, lured 2 British citizens there. America and South Korea intervened. The telecom park disbanded. His henchmen scattered like leaves in the wind, and Chen Zhi fled in panic, his whereabouts unknown. He was totally okay after kidnapping tens of thousands of Chinese to retrieve parts, but harming 1 South Korean completely ruined him. If it weren't for harming this South Korean, he would still be an outstanding entrepreneur in China, receiving numerous awards and working closely with the Chinese Red Cross. Chinese people find this situation extremely ironic. Over 10,000 SIM cards were seized at the China-Myanmar border. I just want to ask, aren't SIM cards supposed to be registered under real names? When we buy a SIM card, we have to scan our faces, take photos, and sign, so why are so many people using them? Look, if it weren't for the US notification, I wouldn't have known that Chen Zhi, who received the Social Responsibility Model Award, was a fraud mastermind. Looking at previous reports about Chen Zhi, he was a bona fide entrepreneur and philanthropist. He even received the China Finance Summit Social Responsibility Model Award for 2 consecutive years in 2021 and 2022. This lady pointed out that someone who swindles money can actually be considered a role model. Can scammers really be whitewashed into positive role models? Good question. The answer is yes. Under the CCP's rule, this kind of thing happens openly and brazenly. One netizen pointed out sharply, the CCP organization and normal humans are not the same species. Just as the Chinese public was exclaiming in surprise at why Chen Zhi had been so heavily promoted as a positive figure by the CCP mouthpieces, apparently receiving orders from higher authorities, quickly deleted articles praising Chen Zhi. Some pointed out that this over 10-year-long deception wouldn't be exposed until October 14, 2025, when the U.S. Treasury Department designated Prince Group as a transnational criminal organization. Even more ironic, Chinese media outlets that had praised Chen Zhi deleted their articles overnight. 23 positive reports disappeared in a single night, which netizens had already taken screenshots and compiled them into a satirical media crash record. Articles such as Prince Group bravely shoulders corporate citizenship responsibility, leading new momentum for Southeast Asian development, and Beijing Red Cross Foundation visits Prince Group, etc. all demonstrate that Chen Zhi is no ordinary person. The fact that the young man could do these things is naturally related to his position within the CCP system. There are reports that Chen Zhi is the illegitimate son of Chai Chi, a close confidant of CCP leader Xi Jinping. According to a post on the X platform by US-based pro-democracy activist Sheng Shui, Chen Zhi is the son of the sister of Huang Kunming's wife, the former Guangdong Provincial Party secretary. Chen was specifically responsible for managing the wealth of the Fujian clique within the CCP Central Committee, and Qi Chaoqiao, the sister of CCP leader Xi Jinping, and also laundered money for them. Under Qi Chaoqiao's arrangement, Chen had direct access to the Ministry of Public Security, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Xi family's base in Shenzhen, the Shenzhen State Guest House. The pig butchering scam was merely a side project he handled. It's alleged that Chen Zhi personally managed scam industrial parks in Cambodia, coercing trafficked workers to perform so-called fraudulent tasks. Liu Bingquan, a senior lecturer in the Department of Journalism at Hong Kong Baptist University, previously disclosed to Deutsche Welle that CCP leaders and powerful families launder money through agents. They would use their real names and would not reveal their operational methods. Liu Bingquan stated that since almost all CCP elite families operate in this way for money laundering, it has become a consensus among them. As long as there are no major political problems, there will be no troubles for those CCP elite families because they have formed a system of checks and balances. Eric, a former CCP agent who worked for the Prince Group, also revealed that the Prince Group actually has close ties with the CCP's security department, and is, in fact, one of the CCP's most important agents in Cambodia and even Southeast Asia. The Prince Group provides comprehensive support for the CCP's overseas operations. From funds and manpower to transportation, it covers everything. Chen Zhi's Prince Group is essentially the CCP's financial backer and logistical base for its intelligence system. A blogger on the X platform, using the pseudonym Overseas Leaks, posted, "Some netizens discovered that Wang Wenbin, the current Cambodian ambassador and former spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China, had met with members of the Prince Group, thus revealing the Prince Group's close ties to the Chinese Communist Party." Similar to the situation in northern Myanmar, the Chinese government has praised the Prince Group, and the Beijing Red Cross Society has even visited them. Several Chinese state media outlets and related institutions have endorsed the Prince Group, but most of these articles have since been taken down. In fact, the Chinese authorities have long since stopped pretending. The Prince Group's China headquarters is located in room 3411 Jingguang Center No. 1 Chaoyang Menwai Street, Chaoyang District, Beijing. Chaoyang District is the area where several entities, including the Bulgari Hotel, Qihao Art Museum, Sunshine East Community, and the 798 Art Zone are involved in the alleged conspiracy to murder Chinese actor Yu Menglong. This is a crucial area under the jurisdiction of Beijing, the CCP's political center. Furthermore, numerous videos related to Wang Wenbin's appointment as Cambodian ambassador have appeared on Bilibili, a Chinese video-sharing website. These videos depicting his inauguration ceremony are filled with sarcastic comments. Netizens commented, "I'm terrified. May you grow bigger and stronger and create new glories. Happy official cooperation. A truly high-level scheme. Journey to the West has been brought to life. Such a grand display." Some summarize the characteristics of these telecom fraud rings operating overseas. Unbelievable, a whole industry chain encompassing kidnapping, extortion, robbery, fraud, trafficking of women and children, arms dealing, illegal gun possession, drug manufacturing and trafficking, and international harm, is so casually lumped together as telecom fraud. This is the darkest terrorist organization on Earth. It seems that the true face of the CCP is becoming increasingly clear to the Chinese people. Chen Zhi, the seemingly capable young man, is actually a CCP money laundering tool. The telecom fraud nightmares that haunt countless Chinese peoples are actually connected to the highest levels of the CCP. Those parents who lost their children can't believe that their beloved children were tricked into going to overseas telecom fraud zones and suffering such a miserable life because of the so-called leaders of the party and the state. Ultimately, the tragedy of the Chinese people is caused by the CCP. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.
I don't know where's my father. Police, Korean embassy.
Police near. Police.
Same team.
Police.
Same team. I want Korea. Same team.
Police. I need police.
Please help me.